If the Flash TV show had its pilot episode in 2025 instead of 1990, it would be a very different show. Here's what the first episode of The Flash would be like if it had aired in 2025. We open on a news report about a series of unexplained disappearances around Central City. People just randomly vanishing without a trace. The story then shifts to Team Flash, who are investigating the source of these strange occurrences. Now, instead of a big visual effects heavy fight, this opening scene cuts to a young woman named Iris West, a photojournalist who's investigating these disappearances for her own story. She's got a podcast, by the way, with over 3 million followers. This is because the original Flash TV show is set in the future of the 90s. So of course she has a podcast. Iris is following a lead on one of the missing persons when she's nearly kidnapped herself, but she manages to escape. And while running away, she bumps into our hero, the Flash. He's played by, of course, Grant Gustin. He's not a scientist or a forensic analyst. He works at a comic book store that also doubles as a coffee shop. It's called the Comic Center. You can get your caffeine fix and your graphic novels all in one go. After an awkward first meeting, Iris goes back to the apartment that she shares with her adopted sister, who we learn is dating one of Barry's co-workers from Star Labs. Yeah, STAR Labs is still around and they're still doing questionable things. Like in this version of the pilot, they've created an artificial intelligence to help with the investigation of these missing persons. But it's gone rogue and is now trying to frame Barry Allen for one of the murders. So the whole episode is basically a mystery with some light superhero action sprinkled throughout. There's no big battle between the Flash and Gorilla Grodd because, that would be too ridiculous even for a 2025 audience. Instead, there's a smaller scale mystery that's more grounded in reality. The ending of the episode also teases the next big baddie, a serial killer who's targeting people with special abilities. So the stakes are raised, but not by a gorilla in a spacesuit. The tone of this episode is much darker and more serious than the original pilot, which was a bit silly and campy. But it works for 2025 because it leans into the mystery aspect and doesn't try to be something that it's not. This is a good thing. As we see in the opening credits, Team Flash is made up of Barry Allen, aka The Flash, his adoptive father, Detective West, Iris West, Joe's daughter, and Star Labs CEO Caitlin Snow. Cisco Ramon is nowhere to be found because he's busy suing the military for making him into a super soldier against his will. That's right. In this continuity, Cisco was turned into Vibe as an experiment by Star Labs. But he broke free and now he's a wanted man on the run from the government. Yeah, this isn't the Flash TV show that you remember, but it's not bad. This version of the pilot is more faithful to the comics and it introduces a lot of interesting new concepts. It also leans into the strengths of the cast, especially Grant Gustin, who gets to play a more dramatic role than he did in the original pilot. Plus, it's always fun to see a fresh take on a classic story.